Alright, here's a coup de grace final review. Okay, number one, perform the indicated operation around the two places as needed. So you have 6 times the parentheses 21 minus 7 over 21. Okay, when you have a fraction and there's multiple operations on either top or bottom, you want to put a parentheses around that. So you need to figure out what that is. So 21 minus 7 is 14. Okay, the parentheses always comes first regardless of the operation. 6 times 14 is 84. Then 84 divided by 21 is 4. Okay, number two. You have 47 minus a fraction 81 plus 16 minus 51 over 8 plus 13 plus 5. Okay. So there's actually a parentheses right there. So you got to figure out your parentheses first. Okay. It goes parentheses, then multiply, divide, or no, parentheses, exponents are roots, then multiply, divide, then addition, subtraction. So in the parentheses, you got to figure that out first. Okay. It's plus and minus. Those have equal values, so just go straight forward. So I take 81 plus 16 minus 51, and I got 46. Plus 97, or yeah, minus 51, so that's 46. Okay, and then over here you got 13 plus 5 is 8, so you got 47 minus 46 divided by 8 plus 18. There are no exponents or roots or radicals, so now you have a division, so you got to take 46 divided by 8, 5.75. Okay, then you're down to adding and subtracting. Those have equal values, so you just go in order. 47 minus 5.75 plus 18, 59.25. Okay, number three, you got a little story problem, not hard to do. Determine the number of board feet in a piece of lumber with a width of 10 inches, a thickness of 3 inches, and a length of 15 feet. Now the board feet is equal to that formula on the document. It's thickness times width times length divided by 12. Okay, so T is the thickness, and it says it's 3 inches. Width is in inches, W width in inches, that's 10. And L is the length in feet, okay? So it's 15 feet. You don't convert the feet to inches, it's supposed to be in feet, okay? Divided by 12. Okay, so you have that. You just have multiplication, so 3 times 10 times 15 is 450. And I go divide 450 by 12. Always through 37.5. 37.5 board feet. Okay, number four. You have 7 1/8 times 6 7/8 minus 4 3 over 16 divided by 4 3/4. So you detect these the same way. One thing you're going to want to do is on a Google search, if you don't have one of these calculators where you can use the ABC, you need to go to a Google search and Google mixed number calculator, because I don't know who's got the good calculators, who doesn't. Do the first one up, okay, and then you're ready to go. It'll take longer that way, but with this, okay, now put a parentheses. Now you have two operations. You have multiplication and subtraction. Multiplication comes before the subtraction. Okay, so I take 7 1/8 times 6 7/8. So 7 and 1 space 1 divided by 8. And we need 2 times by 6 7/8. 6 space 7 divided by 8. You got to hit the space first. Hit calculate. You get 48 and 63 over 64. Then you would take that minus 4 3/16. So I go 48 space 63 divided by 64. and you are going to subtract now 4 3/16. Hit calculate. 44 and 51 over 64. Okay, and we're going to divide that by 4 3/4. So 4, 44, and 51 over 64. And now I'm going to divide, okay, by 4 3/4. Okay, 9 and 131 over 304. Okay, and that's the answer. Okay, number 5. Again, with this, you just go number ABC, number ABC. Okay, next one, we got 10 and 9/10 times a brace, bracket, 15 and 7 over 16 times, and then a parentheses, 2/3 plus 5 over 6, minus 3 and 3/10, and the brace closes, divided by 2.5. Well, first you do the parentheses, and then the brace, okay? First figure out the parentheses, 2/3 plus 5, 6, okay? So you just go 2 divided by 3, and we need to add as the operation, plus 5 over 6, okay? Okay, 1 and 1/2, so cross that out. Now do the brace, okay? You have to do the times first. Times comes before subtraction. So you got 15 and 7/16. And you will be timesing that by 1 and 1 space 1 divided by 2. Okay, hit calculate. 23 and 5 over 32. Okay, so cross that out. 23 and 5 over 32. Then I have to minus the 3 and 3/10. So 23 space 5 over 32. And then I'm going to be subtracting 3 and 3/10. Okay, 19 and 137 over 160. So we have 10 and 9/10 times 19 and 137 over 160, and then divided by the 2.5. Now times and divide have the same value, so we're just going to go in order. We'll times first, okay? If you have these kind of calculators, you can just do it all at the same time. So 10 space 9 divided by 10. And we're going to multiply that by 19 space 137 divided by 160. Okay, you get 216 and 693 over 1600 divided by 2 and 1/2. Now you divide it. Okay, so 216 space 693 over 1600. It's not letting me do that, so let's just go here. Okay. Okay, you can write, if it spits that out, just write 86.57. I'll accept it. Okay. Okay, now number 6. R1, R2, and R3 are individual resistances in ohms for the circuit. Determine the total resistance, RT, in ohms for the circuit if R1 equals 120 ohms, R2 is 50 ohms, R3 is 85 ohms. So RT is what you're finding. That equals R1 plus R2 times R3 over R2 plus R3. Okay, so R1 has a resistance of 120 plus R2, you got 50 times 85. And R2, you got 50 plus 85. Put parentheses there. So first you got to take 50 times 85, 4,250. Then 50 plus 85 is 135. Now we're going to divide those two. Okay, just go 31.48. So RT is equal to 120 plus 31.48. Add those and it's 151.48 ohms. Okay, number 7. These are pretty easy. Express as a decimal. Around 2 places. Fraction of decimal is easy. You just divide 33 divided by 64. 2 places, 0.52. Okay, number 8. 4 and 8 over 15. Here's what you do with a mixed number. You put, instead of 0. Just divide 8 by 15. But instead of 0.53, you put 4.53. Okay, pretty easy there. Number 9, 0.058. You're expressing it as a reduced fraction. So make a fraction, and here's what you do. Tenths, put your 58 on top. Then on the bottom, you got your tenths, hundredths, thousandths. So that's 58 over 1,000. Now you need to reduce it. If you have a good calculator, you can go 58 ABC 1,000. So 29 over 500. That's the answer. Now if you don't have that, write these numbers here. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. Try to divide them both by 2. Okay. See, you can't get decimals. So, okay, I did not get a decimal. 29 over 500. Divide them by 2 again. Won't work because you got a decimal. Okay, now see if they both divide by 3. Nope. By 5, nope, they have to end in a 5 or a 0. By 7, by 11, no, so that's the answer. Okay, so that's how you reduce a fraction if you don't have access to a calculator that reduces it. Okay, next one we got 0.00625. So you put 625 and then tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths, 100,000ths over 100,000. So if I try to do it the quick way, 1 over 160 is the answer. Now see if you can divide those both by 11. If you don't have that calculator, here's how you do it the long way. Divide by 11 doesn't work. Divide by 7 doesn't work. Divide by 5 works on top, 125. Now see if it works on the bottom. Yup. So 25 over 20,000. Now try to divide them by 5 again. That works. So we have 5 over 4,000. Now try to divide by 5 again. You can. That's a 1. Wait a second. Did I do that right? Yeah, that was wrong. It's 125. I did that wrong. Okay. So divide it by 5 again. So 25 over 4,000. Now divide by 5 again until you can't do it anymore. So you got 5 over 800. Then do it again. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 160. Okay, so you find one of these 5 that works and you start doing it till you can't do it anymore. Okay. Okay, number 11. 8.18 divided by the square root of 2.85 minus 1.06. So again, it's ordered out parentheses. Exponents are roots multiply, divide, add, subtract. Well, you don't have any parentheses, but you have a root, but you got to do the operation of the root first. So 2.85 minus 1.06, I got 1.79. Now I got to find the square root of 1.79. Okay. So on your square root, 1.79. Okay. Just go 1.34, so 818 divided by 1.34. By the way, on a calculator, you just go second, and the key next to the 7. 1.79, C, okay. And 8.18 divided by 1.34 is 6.10. Okay, number 12. Wrong document. You got the cubed root of 8.63 times 5.1 divided by 6.5 to the second minus 0.59. So you want to put parentheses around those. So you have parentheses, you need to simplify. On top, you need to take 8.63 times 5.1, 44.013. If you round it differently, that's okay. I'll be flexible with the answers. Okay, we got to find out what 6.5 to the second power is. 6.5 times 6.5, and then I minus 0.59. Okay, 41.66. Okay, now I need to divide that before I do the radical. So 44.103 divided by 41.66, 1.06. Now on this kind of calculator, you go 3, you got to hit 3, second, and then not the same key next to 7, the key above it, okay? That's your answer, 1.02. Now, if you don't have access to that kind of calculator, you go to a phone calculator, and here's what you do. You take 1.06, hit the XY button, and then you need to make a parentheses, okay? XY, parentheses, and you do a cubed root, you go 1/3 power, because a cubed root's the same as taking a number to the 1/3 power. Just 1 divided by 3, just like that, okay? Same thing, 1.02. Now, I'm going to warn you about the test, okay? Get to it here. That's the review, okay. I'm going to make you a little warning here. I'm going to go to the final. Now, here's what you have to do on number 12, okay, on that one. The fifth root's only on the top, okay, so you need to do the division, okay, then you do the fifth root from there, okay. The bottom's not in the fifth root, okay, so you divide and then find the fifth root on your calculator or raise whatever that is to the power of 1/5, and that's your top. Then your bottom you just multiply and then divide at the end. Didn't want you to think I was pulling a fast one on you. Okay. All right, next one. Number 13. Express each ratio in reduced fraction form. 35/10. Now I'm going to warn you. Just going 35 ABC 10. That is not a ratio. Okay. A ratio is one top and one bottom. So you have to do it the old way. Use 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. You can't divide them both by 11. You can divide 35 by 7, but not 10, but you can divide them both by 5, okay? And that's 7/2, okay? Because I don't want to see the mixed number, okay? No mixed numbers. 52/16, okay? Can't divide them by 11, you can't divide them both by 7, you can't divide them both by 5, you can't divide them both by 3, you can divide them both by 2. Okay, so that is going to be 13 over 8. You can't divide it by 2 again, so that's the answer. Okay, and I'm going to put on that document, no mixed numbers allowed. Okay, so let's keep going. Now it really picks up. Okay, 15. Not hard, not in difficulty. F over 6.2 equals 9.8 over 21.7. So you just cross multiply and divide. 6.2 times 9.8 divided by 21.7. 2.8. F equals 2.8. Okay, number 16. A machine bolt has a thread pitch of 1/32 inch. The pitch is the distance between two threads next to each other, or the thickness of one thread. Find the number of threads in a bolt with threads that total 2 3/4 inch. So you have this much distance in the threads. Every thread is 1/32. How many threads? Well, that's a division problem because they're equal amount. 2 3/4 divided by 1 over 32. Okay, you can go to your mixed number calculator. 2 space 3 divided by 4 divided by 1/32. Okay, 88. So 88 threads. It's a lot of threads there. Okay, number 17. Okay, express as a percent. You have a decimal. Percent, you move the decimal forward twice. 1, 2. 470%. Okay, number 17. Or number 18, my bad. 0.0032. You still move it forward twice. 1, 2. So it's 0.32%. Okay. Number 19, express each percent as a decimal, 12.5%. Now you go the other way, you move it backwards twice, 1, 2, and it's 0.125, no longer a percent, decimal. Number 20, 0.34%. You move it once, twice, so 0.3. Oops, sorry, my bad. 0.0034. Okay, no longer a percent. Okay, number 21. Write the percent as a reduced fraction. First, you start off by putting it over 100%. Okay. Now, mixed numbers are okay here. Okay, so. I'm going to type that on the test. Just give me a second here. Because I want to make sure I'm clear in the direction so I don't dock you. Okay. Okay, so remember I said, so that way you can just do the ABC. Okay, again, you don't have access to that kind of operation. You write your 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. You can't divide them by 11. You can't divide them by, you can divide that by 7, but not that. You can divide them by 5, both of them, and that's 7 over 20. You can't do it again, and those can't be divided by 3 or 2. So those are the numbers you check for. Okay, number 22, 425%. Again, you can put that over 100, and you can ABC it. 4 1/4. Okay, now if you don't have access to that calculator, can't divide by 11 or 7, you can divide by 5. 85 over 20, you can divide by 5 again. You get 17 over 4, okay? You can't divide by 5 again. These can't be divided by 3, and they can't be divided by 2. So I'll accept either 4 1/4 or 17 over 4. Either one's okay. Okay, 23. What percent of 24 is 18? So use those proportions. It's percent over 100%, and then is over of. Okay, remember, of means the total, is the part. You don't have your percent, so x. After of, we see 24. After is, you see 18. So cross multiply and divide. 100 times 18 divided by 24, 75%. Okay, number 24, same thing. What is 40% of 90? So this time I have my percent, so I put the 40 over 100, then is over of. So I know the of is 90, and I cross multiply and divide to find the is. Okay, 36. Not 36%, it's just 36. We have the percent. Okay, number 25. 72.4% of 212.7 is what? Okay. So again, we have our percent, 72.4. Then is over of. So after of, you have 212.7. So you have your of, okay? And you're looking for the is, okay? So I take 72.4 times 212.7 divided by 100, and that's going to be 153.99. Okay, let me look on the test real quick for that. Now look at 25. This time it says, after of, it says what number. So on number 25, you won't know the of. The of is where you put your x on number 25. I didn't have a problem like that. But 88% over 100 and 51.3 is the is. And then on the bottom, you got your x. Okay. Just fair warning. Okay. Next one, number 26. You've got -4 times 10 plus 7, -2. So parentheses, you have them, but there's not any operations inside. There's no exponents, there's no roots. We do have multiplication. So -4 times 10 is -40. 7 times -2 is -14. And you add them, -54. Okay, number 27. -6 plus 3 to the power of 4, so you figure out the parentheses, -3. Now, -3 times -3 times -3 times -3 is 81. It's positive. Now, you're going to get the wrong answer if you go like this, -3 caret 4, okay? Because it's positive. The exponent's even, it's a positive answer no matter what, okay? If you're going to use the caret, you need to put the negative base in a parentheses before raising it to the power, 81. Okay, 28, you got the 5th root of -32. Okay, so if I have one of these calculators, I go 5-second caret, not the one next to 7, the one above it. The one next to 7 is only for square roots. This is a 5th root. -32, you get -2. Okay, now remember how to do these if you don't have access to that calculator. You go -32, parentheses, -32, then close it, hit the X to the Y, and then you need to make a parentheses, and you're going to put 1/5. Not 5, 1/5. 1 divided by 5. -2. All right, 29. Okay, -6 times 2, and then -5 to the second. So you got parentheses, -12, you have an exponent. -5 to the second, it's a positive because, so if I'm just going to use my calculator, I could go -5 in parentheses, second caret. That's 25. I just divide it. -12 divided by 25, -0.48. Okay, number 30 is an easy one. Determine the minimum and maximum values. We have 40.02 plus minus 0.0001. So the maximum, you just add, the minimum you subtract. Okay. 40.02 plus 0.0001. 40.0201. And then I minus to find the minimum. $40.0199. That's 2 answers there. Okay, number 31. Okay, find the degree of precision in the range for the measurement of 8.7 inches. So here's A, here's B. Okay, here's degree of precision, and then range. Okay, degree of precision, you put 0. Everything that becomes a 0 except that last digit becomes a 1, so 0.1. The last digit's a 1. We did these before. That's your answer. Now range, you put a minus plus. I like to do the minus first, and then you have to divide this by 2. Okay, whatever your degree of precision is gets divided by 2, 0.05. Okay, now you're ready to find your range. So you take 8.7 minus 0.05, that's 8.65, and put a dash. And now you add 87 plus 0.05 is 88.75. Okay, and that's how to do that. Okay, number 32. The specifications for the length of a part is 5.5 inches. What's the least width that would be acceptable for the part? Okay. Now it's very similar to 31. Okay. You put your 5.2. 5.5 I should say, and you want to find the minimum, so you're going to minus. What do you minus? Well, I need to find my degree of precision, so 0.1, and then we got to divide that by 2. 0.05, and I subtract, and that's the answer. I don't need to find the maximum, just the minimum. So take your degree of precision divided by 2, and then minus it. 5.45. Okay, 33. Now you start doing your unit conversions. Okay. 16.25 feet as yards. And I have the document, the conversion document was on that Google Classroom. Final exam conversion sheet. Okay. It's just one sheet. Okay, they don't say square or anything like that, so we need to be on this list here. It's feet and yards, so 1 yard is 3 feet. So put your 16.25 feet over 1. You need to get it out of feet into yards. Okay, so 1 yard is 3 feet. So we end up with 16.25 divided by 3. Just round 5.42, so 5.42 yards. Okay, number 34. 1/12 of a mile as yards. even though it's a fraction, you put your 1/12, just put 1/12 mile over 1. We need to get out of miles into yards. Okay, so go back that sheet, look up your yards, miles on the same section. Okay, 1 mile is 1,760 yards. So really it's just multiplication. I take 1/12 times 1760. Use that mixed number calculator, 146 2/3. Okay, 35. 4.08 square feet as square inches. Now you're to the square units. Okay, so 4.08 SQ feet over 1. We want it out of square feet into square inches. So you got to look up your square units now. Okay, so now you're on this link. So 1 square foot is 144 square inches. So we just multiply 4.08 times 144, 587.52 square inches. Okay, 36. 4,700 cubic inches as cubic yards. So 4,700 cubic inches over 1, and you need to get it out of the cubic inches into the cubic yards. Alright, so go back to that document. Now you're at the cubic. Okay, there's your cubic inches, cubic yards. 1 cubic yard, 45656 cubic inches. So we end up with 4,700 divided by 45656. Okay, it's going to be 0.10, so 0.10 cubic yards. Okay, 37. Okay, 30 mm, this is the metric system to cm, and I put off to the side what it is. 10 millimeters equals 1 centimeter. So we need to get 30 mm out of millimeters into centimeters. Okay, and use that thing I gave you, 10 millimeters, because it's not on, I didn't put the metric system on the document. 10 mm is 1 cm, so it's 30 divided by 10, which is 3 cm. Okay, 2 more. Number 38. Okay, 90 feet per minute to yards per second. Okay, now, yeah, that's a compound conversion. So you put your 90 feet over 1 minute. Now you're going to make this box out of the side. You have to go feet over minutes to yards over seconds. So neither one of these match. So since neither one of them match, I need 2 unit multipliers. Okay, so feet to yards. Well, feet's here, so I put yards here. Minutes, seconds. Well, minutes is here, so minutes comes up and seconds is here. Okay, so yards, feet, go back to that list. You're on the 1 yard is 3 feet. Okay. Then the time unit is down at the bottom. Okay. 60 seconds is 1 minute. So 1 minute, 60 seconds. So I delete my feet and delete your minutes. So 90 times 1 is 90. 1 times 3 times 60 is 180. And then I divide those, I get 0.5. Okay, That's the answer, yards per second. Check that to make sure I did it right. Wait a second, did I do that right? 90 feet per minute. 30. Yeah, I did it right, I think. Yeah, I did it right. That's the right answer. Okay. Okay, next one, 39, last problem. Hot air passes through a duct at a rate of 830 cubic inches per second. How many cubic yards can pass per minute? So part A, you're doing exactly what you did on 38. You've got 830 cubic inches over 1 second. So you have cubic inches per second, and you need to get it to cubic yards per minute. So you have two total, again, you have to use two ratios, okay? Cubic inches, cubic yards. So cubic inches, cubic yards. In seconds, minutes, we drag the seconds up here because it's down here, and then minutes here. So we know there's 60 seconds to a minute. Now cubic yards, cubic inches, go look it up. You're in the cubic section. And that's 140.45.656. Okay, so 1 cubic yard, 45656. Okay, so I delete the cubic inches and the seconds, so I have cubic yards per minute. So I take 830 times 60, 49,800 divided by 45656. 1.09, that's the answer for part A, okay? Cubic yards per minute. Okay, then on part B, they ask, how many cubic yards can pass in 5 minutes? So if we can do that much in 1 minute, we just need to multiply that quantity by 5, and that's how many you can do in 5 minutes. 5.45.